Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video I just want to talk about the Walking Dead franchise as a whole, mainly just the TV franchise. This isn't really going to be about the comics or the Telltale games, but the three shows and the video games, webisodes, stuff like that, and not the Telltale video games, the other ones. Okay, so season 10 of The Walking Dead is kind of finished. I mean, we have 6 more episodes, and Fear the Walking Dead, we are currently 3 episodes into season 6, and World Beyond is currently 4 episodes in. And first of all, I should give my thoughts on everything so far. I know World Beyond is getting a lot of shit. It is getting mountains of shit from people. Look, World Beyond, they told us in advance World Beyond was supposed to be something else, something that targeted different people, and my nose is very itchy but the a lot of people just aren't the target demographic. They're trying to bring in new fans, get more people interested in the franchise. Now, I'm not a fan of teen dramas. I fucking can't stand them. I hate them with a burning passion. World Beyond, however, I actually really do enjoy. I've enjoyed all 4 episodes so far. I think the third one was the best one so far. I'm looking forward to episode 5. Yeah, so with episode 4, we had the episode where they're in the high school. And by the way, spoilers for the 3 shows, but doing a discussion on them all was kind of obvious. But yeah, so we had an episode where they went into the high school, and we got a bit more about Silas. We episode 3 was primarily focused on him, but we got a bit more of him in episode 4. Overall, I really do enjoy World Beyond. It was way better than I thought it would be. I know a lot of people call it angsty, which I'm just gonna say right now, this show isn't nearly as angsty as other teen dramas. One thing I hate about teen drama is it's just filled with people being like, fuck the world, fuck everyone, I don't care about anyone, I'm a scumbag person, and that's the way it is, fuck you all. That's how they all are. And while Hope is kind of like that, her character, flat out said, I'm a shit person that doesn't give a shit about anything. But you actually saw in episode 2 she does, because there's that great scene with her and Elton where they're talking about the end of humanity, and he says, does that bother you? And she says, yeah. And just the way they act, it's just really refreshing to see. I like all the characters. I think Silas, Elton, Hope, Iris, Felix, Huck, they're all great. I think Elizabeth is a great character. We haven't seen much of her, but she is a great character. The CRM stuff I love. I'm not watching this show for the CRM stuff only. I think if people go into the show being like, I just want CRM stuff, I don't care about the main story, well, obviously you're not going to enjoy the show, because you're looking out for something that is only about 10% of the show. The main goal of this show is, while CRM is a heavy focus because they have Hope and Iris's dad, the main story is focused around that group of characters, and the CRM are a wider part of it, but they're not the forefront. They're not at the forefront. And we got that post-credit scene in episode 4, which was really interesting. Now, with The Walking Dead season 10, I think overall, because I'm done doing those talking about talking about each new episode, I'm done that series. I'd like to someday maybe like do reviews on every episode of every show, all the games, everything. But season 10 overall, I fucking enjoyed season 10. I wasn't a fan of them killing off Sadiq. I wasn't a fan of them making Dante a whisperer, but like, and I wasn't really a fan of them killing off Mary or Gamma. But I think overall, I did really enjoy the season. It was definitely a really good season, and it kept up the pace of season 9, which was also a really good season. Um, so we had 2 solid seasons in a row, and of course season 11 is going to be the last season, but season 10 isn't finished yet, so there is still a bit more there. As for Fear, you guys, if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that a few months ago I did a video on why I was hopeful for season 6, and see, my hope has been paying off, because look how good season 6 has been so far. It's been fucking amazing. And it's not just me that thinks that, like, so many people are saying season 6 is great, like, oh my god, like, it's been so good, oh my god. 3 solid episodes. Every episode has the potential to be on like a top 20 Fear the Walking Dead episodes. I know top 20 may sound a bit like, well, obviously they'll be on there. I mean, that's a wide amount of episodes, but like when you think about like how Fear the Walking Dead, I think it currently has 72 episodes, and the fact that those 6 seasons in have all made the top 20, I would even say like the first 2 episodes make top 10. Not saying anything bad about the 3rd episode. I love the 3rd episode, but yeah, like it's been great. Another thing I like is that lately it seems like they have been bringing back quite a few characters, like tying up some loose ends. You know, like Connie came back in the finale, Maggie came back in the finale, Sherry came back in Fear the Walking Dead. Well, it was her, like, she was in The Walking Dead, now she's in Fear the Walking Dead, but and Isabel kinda came back, but you know, like the Missing Survivors. Ooh. Oh yeah, speaking of the Missing Survivors series I do on my channel, that is going to continue. I know it's been a few months since my last episode on that, but there will be more. And now with Tales of the Walking Dead coming out, it seems like Tales of the Walking Dead is perfect for that, because they can tie up a lot of those characters like Lambert Kendall, and yeah, like it's Tales. I'm so excited for Tales of the Walking Dead. I did a video yesterday on the movies, and I think they're still happening. But yeah, overall, I think it's interesting where the shows are going. It does seem like a lot of pieces are starting to fall into place, because I do think we are setting up a big like Avengers level crossover in the franchise, and I think as more and more of the shows progress, it's becoming more and more likely. And I want to do a video where I'm going to do like a big like how I think The Walking Dead will end. However, that video won't be for a while, and the reason why is because it's not because of editing or anything like that. It's more of I want to wait for more stuff to come out before making that theory, because let's say I make the theory and in a month's time AMC says something or Fear does something that totally throws out that theory. Who knows? As for when I plan on doing the theory, I want to wait for World Beyond Season 1 to finish, Fear Season 6 to finish, and I don't just mean the episodes we're getting now, I mean like recently the cast have gone back to filming. They're filming the rest of Season 6. I want to wait till all of Season 6 is finished. I want to wait for those 6 bonus episodes of The Walking Dead to finish. and I want to find out if Fear the Walking Dead is getting renewed for a seventh season. I really want to know all of that stuff before I do like a how I think The Walking Dead will end, because my video pretty much it involves everything. There's also The Walking Dead Onslaught, which with that game has had quite a ride. I haven't done any videos on it, but like my opinions on it, I love it. I think it's a great game. I think it's really fun. I think the recent update to the combat is definitely a huge improvement over the game, and I think the game's only getting better. I think they do need to release a story DLC. I don't care if it takes a fucking year for that to come out. They don't need to rush it. I think the story of Onslaught is such a big part of Onslaught. Like Survios, the company that made it, they said that story was going to be a huge part, and like obviously if that's the case, you know, like I want conclusion to the story, and the story ends on a quite a cliffhanger. Hopefully they release some DLC. Now, as for other stuff like about the game, an Easter eggs video, I know I did one on Saint Sinners. With Onslaught Easter eggs, like a lot of the Easter eggs of The Walking Dead Onslaught are more like it's just graffiti on the wall or dialogue referencing certain characters. And especially some of those may not even be intentional, but it's me being like, oh, that can relate to that. Maybe that wasn't even Servios's intentions, but there is certainly like some Easter eggs in the game, and I might do a video on those Easter eggs, and maybe I might even release it in parts. I don't know, like if I feel like an Easter egg is good enough to talk about, like if it's not just like it's just a tiny bit of dialogue. Like for example, there's mentions of Sadiq, there's mentions of Carl. I don't know if I should include them because it's just characters getting mentioned. It's not necessarily an Easter egg, it's just like a reference. Like an Easter egg would be like, for example, if anyone hasn't played Onslaught yet, or if anyone doesn't know about any of the Easter eggs, this one's probably my favorite Easter egg in the game. But in the second chapter, I think, there's a part where you're playing as Daryl. Of course, you play as Daryl throughout the story, and you get to like an evacuation point, and Rick asks you, have you ever been to an evacuation point? And Daryl says once with Merle, which is a fucking cool callback to the Walking Dead Survival Instinct, which is, you know, that Walking Dead game that came out in like 2013 that so many people fucking hated. Well, funnily enough, it seems like that game has kind of gained a bit of a following, because I'm seeing more positivity towards that game in recent times, so I really want that game to get a remaster. I really do. Imagine that game on like the Nintendo Switch or something. That'd be fucking cool. Bringing it on the go. I would love that. But as for other things, yeah, so Onslaught I really enjoyed. I just think some more like conclusion to the story is very needed. I think it can make the game even better. As for other things, trying to think. Skybound Expo is coming out on Friday, so there'll probably be some announcements there. I was thinking about doing a new series for my YouTube channel, one that is called like Forgotten Stories of The Walking Dead, or yeah, like Forgotten Stories of The Walking Dead, or like Obscure Stories of The Walking Dead. And the idea of this is pretty much to talk about canonical Walking Dead stories, whether they're from the comic universe or the TV universe, but talk about very rarely talked about and stuff that a lot of fans don't even know about. Talk about stuff like that, and then do like a video on them, kind of highlighting them, telling you where you can find it, and giving like a synopsis on it. Because I kind of got this idea because a few months ago I found out that in 2010 Robert Kirkman wrote a short story called Alone Together, which was connected to The Walking Dead, and it was published in a book called The Living Dead 2, which was a anthology book where it had a bunch of short stories from many different writers, one of them being Robert Kirkman. And pretty much when I found out about that, I was like, I need to get that book. I need to read that. And I got the book. I read through the entire thing. I even read the non-Walking Dead stories. I just wanted to read the whole book, and I enjoyed it. Some of the stories on there were really fucking good as well. But yeah, the Alone Together one, like, I never hear anyone talk about that, and I think it'd be a good idea to do a series that talks about unknown pieces of the franchise. No, it's not going to be around specific storylines, like maybe I'm talking about a specific storyline from the TV show that people don't really talk about much anymore, like, well, what would be a storyline like that? I could talk about, well, I don't know, like, but it's not going to be around like certain parts of the shows. It's going to be more like on radio waves, which is a Fear the Walking Dead podcast series, the Alone Together short story, the Shane, the game where you play as Shane, Dead Reckoning. Like stories like that that are, some may know about them, but they're more obscure in the franchise, and I think those ones would be, it'd be fun to highlight them, let more people know about them, and maybe give them more attention. I think something like that would be awesome. It's not going to be a long series because there isn't too many like stories people are unaware of. There's really only like a handful of them, so there'll only be like a handful of episodes, because if I have it go on too long, I will start talking about stuff that isn't that obscure, like, oh, here's Survival Instinct, here's Saints and Sinners. Like, people know what Saints and Sinners is, people know what Survival Instinct is, they're not obscure. People know what The Walking Dead Typhoon is. Like, I'm talking about the more obscure stuff, and I think that will be a really fun series. I don't know when I'm going to start it. Episode 1 will probably be on Alone Together, because I think that is the most obscure story, especially because with how big of a fan of The Walking Dead I am, and it took me so long to even know about that story, and it's been there since 2010, and I had no idea about it until like a few months ago. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so what else is there to talk about? Well, there's not much more. I think the franchise is moving in very interesting directions. I think I'm really excited to see where everything goes. I wanted to do a longer video for my YouTube channel because my past few videos have been really short, and I thought like maybe people would like a more longer video. It's probably not going to be much more longer than this. I just want to get like more videos out, because lately my channel has kind of slowed down. So yeah, like I'm very excited to see what's for the future of the franchise, I think there's a lot going on. Again, I'm enjoying all three shows. I think World Beyond was way better than I thought it would be. Fear has been amazing, and The Walking Dead's finale was really fun. It was really good, and I'm looking forward to those 6 bonus episodes, and I'm looking forward to the final season. So yeah, the Walking Dead franchise isn't going anywhere, and yeah, this video has gone on 20 minutes. I think that's long enough. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you want to, you can subscribe. You don't have to, but you know, it is appreciated if you do. I'm close to 100 subscribers, which is fucking awesome. My channel has grown so much this year, and that's thanks to you guys. It's just amazing. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and peace out. Goodbye.